welcome back to our non-stop rolling coverage of the second phase of the election cycle of 2024. By the end of the day today, half of the constituencies in the country, in fact more, would have voted with 250 million plus votes cast. The remaining 5 phases will then draw that down all the way till June the 1st, and then we are back here on June the 4th to give you the results real time. Now, we're having now, ladies and gentlemen, in this circle, which is our wheel, 2 parts of the conversation. We are starting every hour with the 25 reporters, and I promise you, by the end of this, 2 out of the 3 constituencies in the country we would have reported live from. Okay? So, the reason that is important is because we have, and all the political managers and the people scheming and planning and architecting, all of them are thinking, what's the issue and what do people want and what do we say and how do we say it, okay? But all of that has to be educated by what's actually filtering in. So, we want to hear from people on what they are thinking, what's the gut reaction. Now, I put the caveats out there. Some people are just shy, some people want to be politically correct. So, they don't want to say, listen, I'm Hindu, so I vote for Modi, and I'm Muslim, so I vote for Rahul. They might not say that. So, we put the caveats in. Some people are very vocal about what they want to say, and some people just want to get on with their day. They want to vote and not be disturbed by somebody sticking a mic in their face. So, putting the caveats out there, let's get a perspective in. Belly, my colleague, is joining us. He's in Bengaluru this morning, and Bengaluru North constituency specifically. Ritesh is in Purnia. In Bihar, Akshit is standing by on the outskirts of Delhi in Noida, which is Western Uttar Pradesh, comes in the NCR region. Vaibhav, meanwhile, is in Hoshangabad in Madhya Pradesh. So let's hop across first to Noida, where my colleague Akshit is standing by. Akshit, so what are people talking about there? Okay, now this is an industrialized but highly urban space. It has benefited from, if one place would have benefited from the concept of double engine, it's places like Noida and Meerut. What are people on the ground saying?
Well, yes, since morning, people are saying that rapid transformation has taken place in Noida, and of course, when we talk about Gautam Buddha,
okay.
Dr.
Akshit, you're going to have to speak to your camera person, and we're going to have to stabilize the connection, because I will refuse to believe that of all the people reporting from all sorts of places, including from Purnia and Hoshangabad, it is in Noida that you're having connection issues. So let's get that sorted out, please. As you're seeing my colleagues speaking to other political leaders early this morning, let me take that opportunity to go to Bangalore, where I'm hoping the connection is absolutely stable. Belly, what are people there on the ground saying?
Yeah, we are here at the BBMP Shishu Kendra school here in Vayali. So I have a voter here waiting for giving her reaction after she had voted. Ma'am, what are the issues that you think that you come here to vote?
I came to ensure that my country is safe. Can I take names of the people I like? Yeah, I believe Modi ji is doing a great job, and I do not want it any other way. I rather pay 10 rupees more for petrol. I rather pay 10 rupees more for thing rather than have any other country invading my country or the country being sold for. People have been taken granted for too long, and now people have woken up, and we want to see this change. Okay. And I'm actually traveling all over right now. I ensured that I came back to Bangalore last night to vote today and again traveling tomorrow.
Okay. Or Belly would love to hear as many voices as possible.
From Bengaluru South.
Yeah. As many voices as possible. I understand that the voting day is drawing to a close, and as many voices. Go ahead.
I've actually traveled from Canada, and I still wanted to make sure that I cast my vote and do my duty to the country. I'm excited to vote and do my duty.
Okay. So that was a couple of voters here, and we can see the queue there, but we won't be let inside to speak to them. Okay. But anyway, we would try it. So what are the issues that we're looking at in your constituency?
I don't find major issues. Everything is going smooth, I would say.
So that was from Shishu Kendra.
Yeah, okay. So Belly, why don't you now move across to a polling booth where you're seeing a greater crowd, so we can listen to as many voices. Literally millions of people casting their votes as we speak. Let's get as much a dipstick test as we can. I'll use that opportunity to go across to Jammu, where my colleague Ajay has been reporting. Jammu, of course, is voting today. Udhampur voted last week. and Kashmir next time around. Ajay, what's happening? What's the issue on everybody's mind?
See, Rishabh, we are here in the Trikutanagar polling station. We are just, Dr. Jitendra Singh have, was here to cast his vote and with his family. But now only a few people are here because till now on this polling station about 15% polling, was reported, and still, number is increasing because it's a VVIP area. What we can say that's why number of voters they came reached here on the polling station. That is comparatively less, but it is hopeful that till evening there will be a good number of voters over here. Still, you could see that people are coming for the vote, and those who are coming will try to speak to them as well, that what they have to say and how they see that this election. Ma'am, आप वोट डालने के लिए आए हैं, क्या कहेंगे, कितना जरूरी है और क्या माइंड में है कि किस तरह के मुद्दे हैं जिसको लेकर वोट करेंगे?
देखिए, वोट डालना तो बहुत ज़रूरी है और ये सभी का अधिकार है, चाहे वो अमीर है, गरीब है, अनपढ़ है, पढ़ा लिखा है, वो सबका अधिकार है वोट डालना। और देश में बहुत सारे मुद्दे हैं जिनको लेके आगे हमें विकास की बहुत ज़्यादा ज़रूरत है। अभी हमारा देश जो है विकासशील उसमें चल रहा है, तो आगे विकसित बनाने के लिए बहुत सारे मुद्दे हैं हमारे पास।
तो लगता है कि ये जो 10 साल आपके सांसद रहे, आप उनसे खुश हैं या लगता है बदलाव चाहिए?
नहीं, खुश है और बहुत उन्होंने तरक्की की है। जम्मू में पहले इतना मतलब कई फैसिलिटीज़ नहीं थी, जैसे IIM यहाँ पे बना है, ठीक है, और एम्स का बना है, और भी आगे बहुत सारे क्षेत्र हैं जहाँ पे हमें लगता है कि और भी विकास की ज़रूरत है।
People, those who are, elderly people, they are even coming for to cast their vote. That indicates, that shows that that how important it is, and it's a democratic process in which everyone has to participate. I would ask my camera person to show you the visuals, because beyond this point we cannot enter, but still there are long queues of the voters, those who are standing, for long, and there are about 3 polling stations on this Trikutanagar polling booth where people are coming, and definitely they are ready to cast their vote and definitely elect a person whom they want to win.
Okay, Ajay, thanks. Just stay with me. Let me take the opportunity to then hop across to Bihar, where Ritesh is standing by in Purnia. Purnia में क्या चर्चा चल रही है रितेश? मतदान डालने का मुद्दा क्या है सबके लफ्ज पर?
हम मौजूद हैं और यहाँ देखिए कि तापमान जो है वो 40 डिग्री सेंटीग्रेड के पार जा चुका है, लेकिन उसके बावजूद आज हमने जो वोटर्स का रुझान देखा है, सुबह 6 बजे से ही वोटर जो हैं इसी तरीके से कतारबद्ध होकर वो वोटिंग कर रहे हैं। तो ये बड़ी खूबसूरत तस्वीर है। अब आ जाते हैं कि रुझान क्या है, तो डेवलपमेंट एक बड़ा मुद्दा है। इसके अलावा जो लोकल इश्यूज हैं वो काफी फैक्टर हैं, और सबसे बड़ा जो मुद्दा है वो ये है कि यहाँ पर जो कैंडिडेट्स के बीच जो त्रिकोणीय मुकाबला हो रहा है वो सबसे अहम फैक्टर है। हालांकि इस बूथ की बात करें तो कुछ देर पहले तक बहुत ज्यादा भीड़ थी, बहुत सारे लोग थे, लेकिन पूर्णिया की अगर बात करें तो त्रिकोणीय मुकाबले ने पूरा जो पूरी की पूरी लड़ाई है उसे काफी दिलचस्प बना दिया है। एक तरफ पप्पू यादव है, बतौर निर्दलीय वो फाइट कर रहे हैं, दूसरी तरफ बीमा भारती आरजेडी की तरफ से है, यानी महागठबंधन की तरफ से, और तीसरी तरफ जेडीयू के सांसद है, कद्दावर सांसद हैं कुशवाहा, तो वो चुनावी अखाड़े में है, और तमाम लोगों के अपने अपने जो वोटर्स हैं उनके अपने इश्यूज हैं, और उसी पर यहाँ पर फाइट है। और अगर किसी की जीत भी होती है तो जीत का जो मार्जिन है वो काफी कम होगा, क्योंकि डेवलपमेंट को लेकर लोग सवाल उठा रहे हैं, इसके अलावा नेशनल जो इश्यूज हैं उसको लेकर सवाल उठा रहे हैं। और देखिए कि जो यहाँ पर सांसद हैं वो भी मौजूद है, हम उनसे बात करने की एक बार कोशिश करते हैं कि वो क्या कहते हैं। अब कैसी वोटिंग जो चल रही है, रुझान क्या मिल रहा है?
बिल्कुल एक तरफा है, कहीं कोई दिक्कत नहीं है। एनडीए के पक्ष में पूरा एक तरफा चल रहा है,
लेकिन यहाँ पर लड़ाई जो है त्रिकोणीय हो गई है। पप्पू यादव, बीमा भारती, क्या कहेंगे, कैसे देख?
कोई लड़ाई नहीं है, सब एक तरफा है। जो सारे पिछले रिकॉर्ड टूटेंगे, 2019 के भी रिकॉर्ड टूटेंगे, और जब परिणाम आएगा तो पता चल जाएगा। जो लोग दावे कर रहे हैं पांव के नीचे की जमीन खिसक।
संतोष कुशवाहा हैट्रिक लगाएंगे?
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल बिल्कुल।
देखिए कि संतोष कुशवाहा जेडीयू के सांसद हैं, वो खुद बूथ पर पहुंचे हुए हैं और अलग अलग बूथ पे जा रहे हैं, और जाहिर सी बात है कि कैंडिडेट हैं तो देखेंगे कि बूथ पर क्या रुझान है, किस तरह से वोटिंग हो रही है।
Well, the candidates for sure, Ritesh, have already had their say in the entire campaign. It's the voters' turn to have their say. I would love to come back, Ritesh. थोड़ी जो लोग मतदान दे रहे हैं उनसे थोड़ा चर्चा कर लें तो हमें यहाँ पर सहूलियत होगी. Let's speak to the people who are actually casting their votes. के मुद्दे क्या हैं? That will be more useful. While you're figuring that out, let me go to Hoshangabad in Madhya Pradesh, where an interesting battle is going on, and my colleague is standing by. Vaibhav, what is the issue there? वहाँ पर मतदान का क्या मुद्दा है? किस पे चर्चा चल रही है?
बिल्कुल चर्चा कर लेते हैं, क्योंकि इस वक्त जो तापमान है वो भी 32 डिग्री के पार जा चुका है. सुबह हालांकि लोग वोट करने पहुंच रहे थे. आपने वोट किया है, क्या मुद्दा है, क्या सोच के वोट किया है? आप बता दीजिए क्या सोच के वोट किया?
सभी को मेरा नमस्कार. मैं सबसे पहले तो सभी से ये आग्रह करूंगी कि आज हम अपने लोकतंत्र, मुद्दा ये है कि एजुकेशन सेक्टर वैसे भी काफ़ी अच्छा चल रहा है, बट हम और एक्सपेक्टेशंस हमारी ये है कि हम और बेटर करें. जैसे न्यू एजुकेशन पॉलिसी आई है, अभी भी थोड़ा सा कन्फ्यूजन है इस न्यू एजुकेशन पॉलिसी को लेके, तो इसके बारे में हम और अच्छे से जानकारी चाहते हैं, ताकि चाहे स्टूडेंट्स हो या टीचर्स ग्रुप हो, इस चीज़ को लेके सबके अंदर एक क्लैरिटी होनी चाहिए.
आप बाबूजी पहले भी कई बार वोट कर चुके हैं, इस बार क्या मुद्दा लेकर आए हैं? किस तरह से बदलाव चाहते हैं? किस तरह की सरकार चाहते हैं?
एक तो मेरा पहला वोट गया विश्व के सबसे बड़े लोकतांत्रिक देश की लोकतंत्र की रक्षा और उसकी मजबूती के लिए देश गया. राष्ट्रवाद की सुरक्षा के लिए, देश की बाहरी सीमाओं से रक्षा के लिए, देश की आंतरिक सुरक्षा, आतंकवाद की समाप्ति के लिए.
कुछ और एक बुजुर्ग हमारे साथ हैं जिनकी उम्र करीब 92 साल से ज़्यादा है, जिनको घर से वोट करने की फैसिलिटी मिली थी, लेकिन उन्होंने कहा था कि मैं वोट देने जाऊंगा मतदान के. बाबूजी वोट आपने कई बार दिया, इस बार क्या मन में है, क्या मुद्दे के आधार पर वोट दे रहे हैं?
मैं क्या था, 15 अगस्त 1933 मेरा जन्म, तो 46 में मैं आंदोलन में गया, तो पुलिस थाने में बंद हो गया.
अभी इस बार जो आपने वोट दिया है, क्या मुद्दा है मन में, क्या सोचा?
अभी
क्या सोच के वोट दिया है, क्या मुद्दा है?
देश हित में, देश हित में चाहिए. हम तो 1946 से
देश हित की बात करें, कुछ और लोग भी हमारे साथ. बाबूजी मतदान कर दिया आपने? तो क्या सोच के मतदान करेंगे?
बस देश प्रेम, देश हित, देश सुरक्षा, देश का विकास.
देश का विकास की यहाँ पर बात की जा रही है. आपने वोट डाल दिया है क्या? हाँ, क्या मुद्दा है?
मुद्दा लोगों को रोजगार मिलना चाहिए. सबसे बड़ा मुद्दा रोजगार का है. रोजगार बहुत जरूरी है, बाकी का और कोई मुद्दे नहीं है. बाकी के विकास तो हो रहा है.
माता जी आपने वोट डाल दिया है? क्या मुद्दा है? आप वोट डालने आए हैं, कुछ सोच के आए होंगे किस तरह से काम होना चाहिए?
काम तो जैसा भी चल रहा है बहुत अच्छा चल रहा है, और हमें अपना देश नहीं बाहर की विदेश नीति को भी समझना है. सभी कुछ है.
आपने वोट डाला है?
हाँ बिल्कुल. मैंने,
क्या मुद्दा था?
देश की उन्नति, देश का विकास, सुरक्षा होनी चाहिए, रोजगार बढ़ना चाहिए, यही सारे मुद्दों को सोच के वोट डाला है.
बिल्कुल देश हित की यहाँ पर बात की जा रही है, क्योंकि गर्मी अब बढ़ रही है. हालांकि वोटर परसेंटेज की हम बात करें, करीबन 18% पहुंच चुका है, लेकिन अब जो तापमान है वो भी धीरे धीरे बढ़ता जा रहा है. 32 डिग्री टेम्परेचर हो चुका है. हालांकि आप देख सकते हैं कि ये जो बूथ है, जो बूथ क्रमांक है, यहाँ पर भीड़ लग रही है. इस वक्त मैं इंटीरियर्स में मौजूद हूँ, पिपरिया में इस वक्त मौजूद है, लेकिन वोट डालने के लिए गर्मी के बावजूद लोग पहुंच रहे हैं. और देश
got a perspective there from Hoshangabad, a very interesting perspective from all sorts of people, generation, genders. Let me try to get Ritesh back in Purnia. Ritesh, if you found some people, तो हम मतदाताओं से पूछ सकते हैं कि उनके मुद्दे क्या हैं. Okay. I'm sorry for that. He obviously can't hear us, and I would have loved to hear it out in the first place. But nonetheless, you heard from the candidate. The reason we're doing this exercise, and we're doing it again and again and again, so that you keep on getting perspectives from the people who actually matter today, that's the voters. The rest of us don't really matter. We can only be educated and put then things in perspective. So let us put that perspective. Suleiman Mohammad Khan of the Congress joining us on the broadcast. Chandni Shah still with us. Joyita Basu still with us. George Kurian still with us. Joyita, let me come straight to you. Now, as we are distilling through this and the complexity of what is going on, are we seeing any trends emerging? Now we are closing into the end of the second phase of this election. That's going to be pretty much half the seats done and dusted. Are we seeing that, look, it's clear advantage one side, clear issue the other side, or are we seeing, listen, it's a bit more different than 2019?
Well, Rishabh, I found something very striking among all the voices that were being shared on NewsX. One lady in Madhya Pradesh talked about foreign policy being an issue. I mean, think of it like this, some place in Piparia or wherever in the interiors of Madhya Pradesh, this lady is talking about foreign policy. Now, what I think that, emerging trend, I would say, is that, I mean, we know which way things are going. If you're talking to the voters, ever since I have been in this show, they're talking about development, they're talking about things are okay, but things can be better. So I think trends are becoming clear.
Okay, not one person since morning, and let me get Mr. Kurian on this. Mr. Kurian, not one person, and now we've spoken to hundreds, not one person in the morning has said that, listen, for me, betterment of OBCs or SC, STs and caste is my biggest issue. Not one person. What's that telling us?
Well, it goes without saying. See, people are fed up with growing inflation. There is growing unemployment in this country. So these are main issues, which concern the people at large. So on this basis and national security, these are the main issues on which people would be casting their vote. So,
but my question again was different. My question was not one person has said that, listen, I feel that there is injustice happening against the OBCs and SC, STs and Dalits, and that's the reason I've come out to vote.
Well, you cannot just take this few sound bites into consideration. So, I mean, India is too big to, get to a conclusion with a few references.
No, for sure, you can't take. You can only take dipstick tests. That's the premise of everything. We can't study every atom in the world, but we can take a dipstick test to have representative sample of what the elements are, and that's all we're trying to do here. So he's absolutely right. At the same time, you can argue that people might feel some way, but they might not want to say it. They might be voting on caste lines, but they might not want to say it. They might think it's better to say Vikas. That sounds better on television. That can be an argument also. But let me get Ajay on the same thought. Ajay, on the principal issue that is caste a voting factor in this election, not one person has mentioned I'm out here because this candidate is of my caste, or I think that my caste is being discriminated, therefore I've come out to vote.
As you can see, recently there was a Rajput community outrage throughout India, in Uttar Pradesh and Gujarat and Rajasthan. Even the BJP leaders, one cabinet minister of BJP is stated the fact that the core voter of BJP, the Rajput community, is not going to vote for BJP this time. And you can see the decline in the voting percentage. Till now, the voting percentage is only 12.78%. And in the previous phase, it was declined by 6% as compared to the 2019 Lok Sabha elections.
So what's the point?
The trend has changed a lot.
No, but Ajay, the traditional wisdom is that when people want change, that's when they come out and vote in large numbers. And when they're happy is when they sit at home. That's the traditional wisdom. Now you're telling us, no, that the less numbers are somehow unhappy news for the BJP because their supporters are not coming and voting. What are you saying?
Yes, the Congress voters are coming in large numbers to cast their vote. As compared to the city population and the rural voting pattern, there is a decline in city.
Okay, all right. So let me put that thought to Joyita. Joyita, do you think that's the case, that the BJP voters are simply thinking, hey, this is Modi's election anyway, what's the point?
Maybe they might be overconfident about it. But
that can be a consideration. Let me put that to Joyita. Joyita?
I voted in the morning because I am in Noida. And what the mood I saw was that there is a mobilization that is happening. We all live in societies here, in the condominiums. There's a mobilization that is happening at the level of the residents. This is not politicians or political workers who are mobilizing the people. It is the residents who are mobilizing. So there is an awareness, is people
but if there's a 5% or 6% less number of voters, is it primarily because people are comfortable with the government and don't want change, or is it that the people who are comfortable with the government are not coming out to vote, and that's bad news for the BJP?
I think what happened, from whatever I have gathered, the first phase, what happened in that was that, it clashed with wedding dates. Okay, so in the wedding season, a lot of people, that was a problem. And yes, I would say there was a drop in terms of, the BJP workers were perhaps did not mobilize as much as they would have. But I am being told that they are going to change that situation now.
Okay.
But at the same time, to say that, Congress voters are coming out because you see, there is a sense of despondency among the Congress voters. So there is a possibility that even Congress voters are not coming out.
It can come both ways.
So,
the traditional wisdom,
yes.
ladies and gentlemen, traditional wisdom can be thrown out of the window also. But the traditional wisdom says that when people want change is when they come out and vote extra. More, the voter turnout goes up. That's the traditional wisdom, if you can argue it both ways. Let me get Sulaiman Mohammad Khan into this. Sulaiman ji, let me ask you the most generic question. By the end of the day, we'll be half the seats done. How's the mood? Are you feeling more upbeat? Because you guys do get in your WhatsApp group on the ground feedback on what is going on. I know you can't publicly share all of it, but how's the mood right now?
Look, Rishabh, I voted in the first phase on 19th of April in my Lok Sabha Rampur in Western UP. In the first phase, as well as this phase, what we have gathered from the ground, there is a strong undercurrent against Mr. Modi and the BJP and their misgovernance for 10 years. You know why? Why? It is natural. It's not unnatural. For 10 years, this man has almost absolute power. He was controlling everything. There was no one, even in the BJP, to ask something which is quite not proper, even to question him inside the party and the government. Leave the opposition, all opposition leaders who questioned him have been sent to jail or cases have been lodged. So he has failed on promises. He promised that by 2022, farmers' income will be doubled. He's not talking about farmers now. Rather, he brought those draconian farmers' law, which he has to take back. He brought in 2014 Land Acquisition Act amendment so that land can be given to Adani's, his close friend Adani's. So he has to take it back because Rahul Gandhi ji agitated against that. He spoke about 2 crore jobs to to youngsters in the country. Why is not giving the hisab and audit of 20 crore jobs for 10 years? So the promises he has done have completely failed. Therefore, Rishabh, one last minute.
Yes.
Therefore, from 20th of April onwards, he's communalizing and polarizing, trying to do, although it's not working. No communal polarization is working. No caste polarization is working.
Okay.
Everyone is voting against Mr. Modi and BJP.
Okay.
And you were talking about
but
Hajj.
Mr. Khan,
You were talking about Hajj. I heard you.
Yes.
I have. This is completely a misinformation which you people are giving.
It's a statistic from the Saudis. How can the Saudis also be lying?
I'll explain. Well, just give me 20 seconds. It's completely a false information which the Prime Minister has given. From 2013 to 2016, there was expansion work going on in Haram in Makkah and Medina. So what has happened? Saudi has cut down quota, 20% quota of all over the world. In 2012 or 11, the quota of India was 1,70,000. From 2013 to 16, it was 1,36,000 because 20% quota was cut down. That was the reason. It was again revived in 2017 to 1,75,000. Yes, on one point he was right, that in 2019, when MBS came to India, Mohammed bin Salman, the Crown Prince, he requested Crown Prince and 25,000 quota of India was increased and it was made 2 lakh. But it was again cut down in 2023 to 170.
Okay.
This is the truth.
Okay. So you're saying okay. It's.
I've been part of this litigation in Supreme Court, so I know the facts.
Fair enough. I'm glad you had a chance to put that out, and people can digest it the way they want to digest it.
In the times of misinformation, we have to explain.
But on the larger issue, Sulaiman Mohammad Khan, of what the ideological divide is, and you might call it polarization, but Narendra Modi is telling you that the Congress party says that when there is less, it should be given to Muslims first. That's the stated position of the Congress party. He says, my position is, we give to all. Sabka saath. Now,
it's a complete
how is it? Okay, so here's my question. How is it in 10 years that all the houses and all the toilets and all the highways, there has not been any reported study of Muslims and other minorities coming out and saying that we were denied government schemes because of our religion?
This is not the question, Rishabh. The question is that what Mr. Modi, the Prime Minister Modi, he's not a common man. He's Prime Minister of the country, 140 crore, including 1/5 of the population of this country, which is Muslims. So, speaking lies that Congress has given. The statement of Dr. Manmohan Singh is very clear. It's all over the social media. He never said that the first right is of Muslims. He said the first right is of the suppressed class, the scheduled caste, the scheduled tribe, the backward caste, and the minorities. This is
no,
what
he
he has
didn't
said.
say that. He said exactly what he said exactly
let me reply
that.
to that.
I've refreshed myself on the full clipping, which is on social media now. Anybody can go and hear it.
At least allow us to explain. Now the Prime Minister saying Muslim League, Ghuspatia, calling 1/5 of the population of the country as Ghuspatia. It's shameful. I think the whole country should, on this pretext only, vote against him because his speech is against the constitution, against the model.
So let me rephrase the question.
Against representations of people.
Have there been Muslims in this country?
Election Commission has surrendered before Prime Minister.
Are there Muslims in this country?
That's what we are saying. Constitution is being demeaned.
Okay, so Suleimanji, but that doesn't answer my question. Have Muslims in this country received houses under Awas Yojana? Have they got Mudra loans?
I'll tell you. I'll explain to you. Now,
or have they not?
Sadhvi Niranjan Jyoti in 2015 election said कि आपको तय करना है कि रामजादों की सरकार बनेगी या उसके बाद गाली बक्के कहती हैं. तो ये उनकी मंत्री हैं. वो कौन कहते हैं? परवेश वर्मा के देश के गद्दारों को, अनुराग ठाकुर. आप ये बात नहीं है.
I can find many controversial statements of Rajiv Gandhi to comment over here, sir. I'm going to refrain myself from because that's not the point. My question was a bit different. Suleimanji, please take my question. No, sir. Why don't you answer my question? Have Muslims in this country not received a house under Awas? Have they not got Mudra loan? Do they not use the highways? Do they boycott the Vande Bharat Express?
The facts of this government cannot be believed. They are all fudged. Just like GDP numbers.
So not a single Muslim has got a Mudra loan, Jan Dhan account, Awas Yojana, house, toilet. Not one Muslim in this country has got it.
If they have received this, it's a what? Are we bhikari in this country? What Ehsan he has done? He said Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas. People voted for development. Where is the development narrative now?
Okay, all right. So you say they might have. That doesn't mean they are Modi supporters or voters, but they might have. Okay. So let me pose. The truth is they have. Okay, there is more than anecdotal evidence that Muslims in this country. That doesn't mean they become Modi voters or they don't have a distrust of Narendra Modi. But they've got the houses. They are got the toilets. Okay, I've seen old Muslim women on camera talking about how they can go to the bathroom now, which is a good thing for the country. Okay, all right. Okay.
Our sisters to study in Karnataka with hijab. What was that? Isn't that signal from the top?
I don't know, sir, but you're not making an issue about it this time around. I'm sure you want a reform of madrasas as well and science to be taught and other things.
An issue. Mr. Modi is making an issue. We want that everyone issues should be the development centric, manifesto centric. Congress manifesto is to the point.
Suleimanji, to be fair, this election started speaking about the achievement records of both parties, and that can be argued. The caste quota, the redistribution of wealth, and the division of North versus South, of Sanatan and all. This was all India Alliance in you, sir.
Socio-economic caste quota will be done. And they wanted...
So the mandalization of India, the riots that took place when I was 6 years old, okay, that's what you think is the future? That's a judgment call. That's a judgment call. It's your judgment call. Okay.
Listen, one thing. This 400 Nara, which is paid, is being given to change the constitution.
So let me put the question to Chandni now. Chandni, now let me put the reverse question to you. How is it that in a country of 250 near million Muslims, okay, the Bharatiya Janata Party cannot seem to consider even one worthy of becoming a member of parliament? How is that?
No, it's actually, preposterous to even say that. I mean, we have, there are so many, areas where Narendra Modi has actually worked for the Muslim benefits.
No, but that was not my question. I've said it, that of course I have seen them, I've recorded them, I've done the stories of Muslims who got house, who are using Mudra loans, who have never seen a toilet, and they are seeing their families benefit. And modesty is a major issue in Muslim families. It's a big change. My question is different. My question is, how can we go and tell the Muslims of this country that in the 250 million of you, okay, our party doesn't feel one person competent enough to win an election?
Well, this is it's actually not an official thing to say by the NDA. We have the NDA, I mean, the BJP has given equal rights to not just the regular class, but also the reserved class. Our Prime Minister himself comes from the OBC. So, and we have Muslim, leaders in minority leaders in the party. So it's not like that there is no one. We had APJ Abdul Kalam as the president of India. What are you saying? I mean, if we get a candidate who is at par excellence, who deserves
but
to be on
Chandni, it's very reasonable to say that, and I'm trying to have a reasonable conversation. Genuinely, I'm trying to have a reasonable conversation. The reasonable conversation is that in this country, an identity gives you a familiarity. Okay, there is an identity. There is a comfort that comes. That yes, I have got the house, I have got the toilet, I appreciate it, but I find it strange that nobody who is from my religion can become a member of parliament under the BJP, because the BJP does talk about OBCs, it does talk about Rajputs, it does talk about Jats, it does talk about Dalits, it talks about tribals and tribal welfare and Northeast welfare, but only one community they've talked about Christian welfare, they're ready to go to churches, but mosques and Muslims are still an anathema. And that's a problem.
I don't think so, Rishabh, because when you say that they've talked about OBCs, they've talked about SC, STs, they've talked about Muslim minorities as well. See, BJP says Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas. That is not just to say. And as I said, if there is a candidate who's par excellence, there is no harm in bringing that candidate ahead today. And that candidate should believe in Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas.
Okay, yeah, all right. Okay, but that doesn't answer my question. Okay, so Suleiman, let me come to you with a question. I know you want to make a point, but I have a question.
Yeah,
okay?
yeah.
Now, on day one of the Ram Mandir inaugural, you said this is a Modi show. It's a Modi party. All the cameras are focused on Modi. The audience is a sideshow. Okay, so we don't want to be there. Fair enough. All right. But that day one has come and gone. Months.
We have not said that.
Months have gone now. Why haven't your senior party leaders? Arvind Kejriwal has gone. Okay. Why haven't your senior party leaders decided that they can just show up at the Ram Mandir just to give darshan, or do they not believe in the Ram Mandir?
Rishabh, I get surprised. A person like you asking these type of questions. Are they matter of debate? Are they issues for elections? Ram Mandir has been constructed on the
But
order
how
of
can Muslim identity be an issue and Hindu identity be not an issue?
Let me complete then. Supreme Court's constitutional bench has directed for the construction of Ram Mandir. That has been done. I'm glad to inform you, the Pran Pratishtha was planned for 22nd of January 24. Congress Party General Secretary Avinash Pandey, UP President, Congress President Ajay Rai ji, Supriya Shinaid ji, and other Congress leaders, Dheeraj Gujar ji, Secretary AICC from Rajasthan, co-in-charge of UP. They all went to for Ram Mandir before 22nd of January, and they had their darshan. I'm just informing you. So, making a narrative, and Congress has not said that it was made. Shankaracharya ji has also, 4 Shankaracharya said that once the whole mandir is constructed, it's like a body, then only the pran can be put into that. Unconstructed pran pratishtha is not as per Hindu culture, rituals and rites. So whatever he is doing,
okay, but
let him
Suleiman
do.
ji, if you are saying that if the Muslims in this country distrust the BJP,
not
if
at
the
all.
Muslims in this country distrust the BJP,
I don't understand, Rishabh ji. I am not nowhere to speak for Hindus, but I can see and I can say and I've discussed this with my Hindu friends. Who is BJP and RSS? Are they Thekedar of Hindu religion? Our other parties don't have Hindu leaders?
They're not, and they never will be. But that's not the point. My question is, if you are saying the Muslims, so just like they are not anti-Muslim either, sir, and they're not out to get the Muslims, they've done a lot of good work.
May I tell you about the? Yeah, I'm telling you, and you were talking about, and the lady who was speaking for BJP was also that Muslims have received this benefit. Swachh Bharat, the toilets have received, the houses have been received. What is this? We pay taxes like all 140 crore Indians. We give everything. You are in power. You are not doing any favor.
So exactly, that's your job. That's the job of government. That's the job of government to deliver it. Okay.
What I am trying to say You will not give anything to Muslim. You will alienate. We are in 30s, Germany of 30s.
No, but Suleiman ji, just follow the logic of my questioning, and I'll leave it on the last question. I'll leave it on the last question. It is perfectly reasonable for the government to say that we deliver to all, bar none. But it is also perfectly reasonable of the Muslim community to wonder why there are no members of parliament who happen to be Muslim. That's perfectly reasonable to ask the BJP. Similarly, it's perfectly reasonable to ask the Congress that if you say that Muslims have a distrust of the BJP, why should Hindus not distrust the Congress if not one senior leader can even show up in Ayodhya?
Pandey went to Ram Mandir before Mr. Modi. I can show you the pictures. And a lot of Congress leaders have gone. And who will set the dates and time that when
the president
our leaders will go?
Priyanka Gandhi doesn't go, Sonia ji doesn't go, Rahul doesn't go, and you're saying the spokesperson have gone, so it's enough.
They decide themselves.
Okay.
How can they be anti-Hindu if they don't go?
That doesn't make them anti-Hindu. No, it doesn't make them anti-Hindu, but it makes reasonable for people to ask the question that this is something we expected you to do. Anyway, nonetheless, okay, this conversation is not going to be done and dusted today. You are seeing a very energetic campaign happening, as it well should be. It will continue. The campaign is continuing. I'm going to thank my guests. We're going to take a very short break. After that, there are developments happening on the ground. I'm going to see you in 30 seconds.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.